Hello, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Oluchiimoh. On this channel, I talk about cake business and I share tips and strategies on how to grow your cake business from 0 to 100. I'm an international award-winning cake artist that is based in Manchester, the United Kingdom, and you're welcome to my channel. Just in case you're seeing this face for the first time, hello and welcome to my channel. Please don't make it your last. Would love to have you here, become a part of the family. And also, if you've always been here, thank you so much for your support. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing what you need to do to become a great baker. I know that there are people that you look up to. You look up to big bakers, people who have made a name for themselves, who have built a brand, and you're just thinking, how do I get there? How do I become like this person? How do I grow my cake business? What are the things that I need to do? I'm going to be sharing 5 of those things. Of course, there are more than 5, but I'm going to be sharing 5 tips that are not so common that you need to do if you want to become a great baker, or that you need to practice if you want to become a great baker. Now, without further ado, if there's something you're interested in, grab a cup of juice, grab a cup of wine, sit down, relax, and let's get right into the video. You're welcome back. So the first thing we're going to be talking about if you want to become a great baker is to get a good foundation. I know that this sounds cliche, you must have heard it before, but that was one of the things I did that saved me a whole lot of stress, time, heartache, headache, name it, whatever it is. I invested in a cake class when I started, got a good and a solid foundation in my baking before I started. Look, there are classes that I've taken, I've even lost count of the number of classes that I've taken or that I took back then that I've even taken, because getting here to the UK, you're all aware, I took a K class coming here. And back when I started, that was close to in 4 months' time now, it's going to be 11 years. So I've been doing this for a very, very long time. Shout out to me. So what I did was to invest in a K class. You all know my story. If you're new here, probably you're hearing this for the first time. But I got informed of this K class by my husband, and I went for this K class and I enrolled for it. It was a baking class. And I categorically say it, using some of those recipes till date, except for a few that I've tweaked. But some of them, I am using those recipes, like my coconut cake recipe is what I learned 11 years ago when I started. I have been using, I've not had cause to change it, maybe use butter, switch things up here and there, but I have been using the same recipe. So get yourself a solid foundation. If you do this, then that is set aside. You don't have need to be running here and there, looking for how to patch your recipes, looking for how to get new recipes and all of that. So that's the first thing you need to do. Get a solid foundation. Like I said, it sounds cliche. I know that you've heard it before, but you do know what this will do for you, like I've mentioned. It will save you a whole lot of stress. It will save you a whole lot of heartache running around looking for where to get recipes and all of that. Okay, so invest in a good baking class. That is the first step towards becoming a great baker. Now, the second thing I'm going to talk about is to get yourself a mentor. It doesn't have to be like a direct relationship. If you're fortunate enough to get a direct relationship with someone who is open to a mentorship, that is fabulous. That is wonderful. But what if you do not have the money? Or what if you do not have the courage to go to this person and say, oh, I love you. I love your style. I like how you do things. I like how you bake. I like how you take your pictures. I like this. I like that. I want to be like you when I grew up and all of that. What if you do not have that courage to speak up? What if you do not have the money to pay for mentorship programs? Then what you want to do is what I will call understudying. So is it understudying or understudy? So yeah, understudying. So understudy the baker. Watch how he or she does their thing. Or watch how they take pictures, or watch how they school their staff, watch how they bake their cakes. This is the time and the era of videos and social media. Learn to watch stories. If you learn to watch stories, especially on Instagram, you will get to see a lot of behind the scenes, things that go down behind the scenes. The plus of having a mentor, amongst other things, is that you learn to get practical first-hand experience. Okay, so I would rate a direct mentorship over an indirect mentorship. But just in case you do not have the money, you do not have the resources, you do not have the courage, please and please go for the indirect one. So like I said, invest your time in watching Instagram stories. I don't know about TikTok. I'm not too consistent there on TikTok. But if you watch Instagram stories, you will see a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, things that people don't really, bakers don't really put on their pages. You will see them on the study, how they do their things, how they bake, how they mix their cakes, how they line their pans. Little by little, begin to practice these things that you see. So I cannot overemphasize the importance of mentorship. If you want to be great, then you need to go far. One of the things mentorship did for me is to instill in me a great deal of confidence, a great dose of confidence. I started out my cake business and I just did not have a clue. I just knew that I was passionate, I was moving, I was going. But then I got to know about Lizzie and one of the pastors in my church, one of my pastors in church, who is a friend to my husband as well, told me about her. And then I approached her and then I was going to serve. So mentorship is something like, and I've paid this forward. I'm paying it forward, doing giving a free info here that could easily be paid for. I'm giving it out for free. I'm doing programs as much as I can at subsidized rates. Honestly, at subsidized rates. Before now I was also doing this annual mentorship program where I would get bakers for free. I was not charging a dime. For the whole of April, I would mentor them. I'll get them into a group and mentor them. If you're a beneficiary of my mentorship program, please just say hi, your mentee here. Please let me know in the comments. So I would teach them, and I was doing this consecutively. I did this for 5 years before I finally wrapped it up, I think 2 years ago or something now, because right, that was a 5 year project for me. Along the line, I just changed it to a 5 year project and then I'm done with that. But if I'm looking to have this kind of program again, definitely I'll put it out there. So when I have this program, I'll call other people in the industry, other A-list bakers to assist me to teach. And I have testimonials till date. I have testimonials from all those mentorship programs I did over the years. So please get yourself a mentor. Direct, indirect, anyone that you're able to grab, please grab it with good hands. It will help you in becoming a great baker. Now, the third tip is this: find a support group. There are classes, there are camps, there are WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups. I don't know about Instagram. There are communities. Like, so get yourself a community of bakers where you can ask questions. Some of these groups are not free, like you have to pay a token, a monthly fee, you have to probably pay a registration fee or something. Some of them are free. Please look for where you will get a community of like-minded bakers. I think that's what I would call it: support groups or a community of bakers where you can ask your questions, where you can get support, where you can have somebody holding your hands. I've had groups over time, over the years, but it's not something that I'm doing actively at the moment. And I've had free groups where I bring people together, keep them for a while, teach them and all of that. I've been doing it before now, but like I said, I'm not actively doing it anymore. Things have changed, time, schedule, life changes, and all of that. But if you can get a community of people who are like-minded, it will help you go far, because you can easily get help at the snap of a fingertip. You can ask questions, you can gain clarity when you're discouraged. There are people that can help you up when a client has giving you a negative feedback about your cake. You can easily go and talk to them, and somebody will just lift up your spirits and encourage you. So if you want to be a great baker, this is not a journey you want to embark on your own. It's not a one-man journey. You are not an island. You would do better in a pack of other people. You would do better in a community of other bakers who are learning, who are growing just like you. So please don't stay alone. Don't say you're shy, you don't know how to mix up, you don't know how to make friends. Now, one way is to go for exhibitions. These are events that we have from time to time. I believe it's everywhere. It happens in different countries. For bakers, there are exhibitions. If you go there, find a friend, find somebody who is close to you, somebody that you click with, and then, if there's a community like that, please join. If you need to pay a token, please pay. Okay, I've talked about paying for classes, paying for things. It would help you in the long run. So find a community of bakers that would help you, that'll be there to support you when you need the support. Okay, that's the third point. Now, the fourth tip is to constantly innovate, keep innovating, keep reinventing the wheel, keep reinventing yourself. Don't get stuck in the point, don't get tired. Look for ways of doing new things. If you are not breaking even, if you're not getting customers, then you want to be open to trying something new, right? Don't just sit down and say, oh, no market, no customers, people are not buying from me, people are not willing to pay this, this. Look, when I came here, when I relocated to the UK, at some point I was considering In fact, not even considering. I had to bring down my prices. I had to come. I was willing to do cakes for low prices just so that I could gain entry into the market. But at some point, I'm like, is it really worth it? Is it really worth the work, the investment I've made in myself, the years that I've spent, the pedigree I have, the track record, my brand? Is it really worth it? Why don't I just go ahead and charge? And the people that really want to buy my cakes will come for me. What are the things I can do? How can I innovate? What are the things I can do differently? And though I'm not actively baking, I am more satisfied with myself that I'm in a place where I can actually charge what I want for my cakes. So if you want to buy, for arranging for those who are coming to me, if you want to buy and it's okay by you, you buy. If it's not okay by you, if it's not okay by you, maybe some other time or something. But be in a place where you're constantly innovating, you're seeking for new things, you are doing things differently, you're doing things in a unique way. Don't just sit and fold your hands if things are not working for you. You want to try maybe introducing new products, bento cakes, maybe packages, things you can do. I know I've talked about this in a couple of my videos. So don't just sit down, keep reinventing the wheel. What do you want to do? One of my mentors now has a studio where you can do a lot of things. It's not just for bakery, for classes, Dainty Affairs. I believe you know her. She has a studio. She has worked and invented, has evolved over time. She's doing beautifully well, evolving and evolving and evolving and evolving, and it's so beautiful to see. So you get there not by sitting down. You get there by constantly being innovative, thinking, what can I do? What can I do? What's the next step I can take? What's the next move I can make? How do I do this? How do I do that? Think out of the box. Think how to do things. Think how to innovate. Don't just be allow your self confidence to be low and you're not thinking, you're not being creative. Please keep thinking. What do I do next? How do I make it different? How do I make my packaging different? How do I make my cakes look better? What do I need to work on? Is it my photography? Is it this? Is it that? Ask yourself and ask yourself and then innovate, move on and keep reinventing yourself. Now, the fifth tip I'm going to be sharing is this: choose a path and do that thing excellently well. So if you've chosen to do maybe just buttercream cakes, know it very well. Be excellent at it. Be very, very good at it. I was watching a video just before I started recording this one, and the baker that was talking about was a reel, and he was talking about why restrict yourself to a certain skill. Now, things work differently for different people because this person works with fondant. I think he also works with whipped cream. He does a lot of things. He works with different types of frosting. And he was saying, why restrict yourself? And I could quite understand and agree with him. If you have the ability to do different things, please learn. But the thing is that do well in it. So if you're doing bento cakes, for instance, you want to major on bento cakes, please do it and do it nicely. If you want to do these sheet cakes, there are these sheet cakes people make now. Just, I think it's a single layer of a rectangular cake and they ice it so nicely. It comes in different themes. I can put some on the screen for you with credit to the respective owners. I can insert some pictures for you so you can see. You can do that and say, this is what I want to be doing as maybe my my fast moving cake or whatever, and do it nicely well. Whatever it is you're doing, put excellence to it. Let it be a touch of excellence that people can see and will be attracted to you. That's one way to make yourself a great baker. And then one bonus point is this: keep creating exposure for yourself. Look for ways to get the word out about your brand, word of mouth, showing up online, going for events, taking samples with you. These are things I did when I was growing my business back home. I would attend events and I would take samples with me, and then I would share with people when they say introduce yourself, or when it's time for, I've forgotten what they call it, but it's a time for networking. They create a time for networking, maybe in between the event or at the end of the event. I will go with little cake samples. If I can find the picture of one I did at Lagos Business School, I will insert it. I've been seeing that picture in my gallery. I would go and look for it in my Google Photos and I will insert it here. You can see it. I will go with tiny samples and I will share with people and say, this is what I do. This is who I am. I'll introduce myself and I'll talk. So this is just a bonus tip for you. Keep creating that exposure for yourself. Look for how to push out your brand. Look for how to push out your name. Create that visibility for yourself. If you do not know how to create visibility for yourself, I've already made a video about this. I will search for that video and I will insert the link on the screen. Thank you so much for watching. I believe that this has been of great help. This video has been of great help to you. Please don't forget to smash the like button if you found this helpful. If you've watched up to this point, you're the real MVP, and kisses to you. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions as well, please drop them in the comments. If you're yet to subscribe, please hit on the subscribe button. I will see you in my next video. Until then, stay happy, stay safe, and stay blessed.